Hi everyone, and welcome to the house at Pig Corner. For another day of fun and games with our herd of free-roaming guinea pig boars. They are free to forage and roam all day, in a fairly safe and secluded backyard. But are tucked up safely at night in a shed conversion fitted out especially for pigs. The old-timers, Amos and Pike, sleep in a separate annex on one end of the shed, and for the most part are exercised separately from the rest. As a follow-up to what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, we are trying to give Amos and Pike more time mixing with some of the younger pigs. Today Mario and Percy are still out, but for now the rest are shut inside. So we can see pretty much straight away that this probably isn't going to work out. Percy spotted Amos, and decided it's time for some chasing and humping. Whilst Amos would be more than happy to oblige, Pike isn't keen on the idea at all. So already there's tension in the air, and the plans for today seem to have gone wrong because Percy's still out. Sooner or later, whenever there's a suitable opportunity, we'll need to intervene and put Percy back inside. That's assuming we can get hold of him. A bit of a shame, but that's the way it is. Otherwise we're going to end up with Amos all wet and sticky and in need of a good bath. Mario's presence doesn't seem to be a problem, so it's likely he'll be able to mix okay. So this was the point where we managed to pick Percy up and return him to the shed. But he didn't like it at all, and in fact he squealed like a pig, which isn't really surprising at all. But as we put him back inside, Dexter managed to escape, and then he also caused problems with Pike. So in the end the whole idea was abandoned for the day, and Amos and Pike went next door for a run around the rabbit area. Hopefully there'll be other opportunities soon. But it all revolves around keeping Piggleby, Percy, Cedric and Luigi away from the old-timers. To be honest, today's events were typical of what usually happens when we try and mix them. So the rest of the herd are now out again, and after settling down following the initial excitement, are gathered in and around the teepee. Even when they've finished off all the leaves around the base, it still seems to make a good meeting spot. And they will often congregate here even if there isn't food put down to entice them. Although they do look nice all gathered here like this, there isn't really a lot of action, is there? That was the idea of bringing Amos and Pike into the mix, to liven things up a bit. But it's not going to work out every time. It's good to see Harvey turn up for a change and join in. And he's even sat eating next to Piggleby without being bothered. Yet at other times Piggleby seems to get a whiff of something, and Harvey has to beat a quick retreat and find somewhere safe to cover his back. Usually that's in the shed under the stairs next to the hay rack. I haven't figured out why that only happens some of the time. Maybe it depends what kind of mood Piggleby's in. Is Piggleby giving Cedric a funny look there as he turned away from the group? Do you think he noticed Cedric's strange behavior just then? You know what, I think he was teasing Cedric by tickling his arse with the blade of grass. So Cedric moved out to the way. So the only pig we haven't seen today is Luigi, so I wonder what he's up to. Just like Piggly B and Percy, he spends a lot of time sniffing around the annex where Amos and Pike live. So it could be that's where he is. Or maybe he's asleep somewhere. After all, they do have regular naps throughout the day. So poor old Percy didn't get what he wanted today, but at least he got the consolation of a nice bunch of mint all to himself. I guess he's feeling frustrated, and will no doubt be looking to take it out on someone else later. Better watch out, boys. Percy's in the mood for it. So Amos and Pike went over to next door for a couple hours peace and quiet, where they can run around and stretch their legs without being bothered. But they'll be given another chance in their own yard later on. When the others have all retired for the evening, they'll be out for another run around. In the meantime, they can just enjoy a nap in the late afternoon sun. So they don't do too bad, really. So that's it for today, viewers. Sorry it didn't quite go as planned, but there's always next time. I hope you've still enjoyed today's clips. Anyway, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio for now then, see you again soon.